What's up, everybody? It's Janeé Bolden. I'm here with the Hey Janeé Show, episode 1. Let's go. So excited. So Hey Janeé is all about me exchanging energy with the world, and the energy that I put out and the energy that I get back. It's me saying, hey, world, and the world saying, hey, Janeé, right back. And today I'm saying hey to Zada Luby. Zada is our intern at Hey Janeé. And I'm also saying hey to Meaghan Taylor.
Hey.
You got to say hey, Janeé.
Oh, hey, Janeé.
Hey, Janeé.
Yay. That's exactly what I like to hear. So this week is my birthday week, my personal new year. So I wanted to start off today by talking about some birthday reflections, what this year is to me. So it's a real milestone for me, stepping into my full-time entrepreneur life. This will be the first birthday that I'm celebrating in 15 years when I wasn't working for Bossip. So I'm on a whole new journey, full-time entrepreneur, full-time freelancer. I'm super excited to do this podcast. I've been wanting to do a podcast, but it was all about meeting the right people, and those moments really came together for me this year. Meaghan, you and I had crossed paths a few times, but we ended up having a conversation in the Delta Sky Lounge. At the top of the year, we were in Memphis for the celebration of hope with St. Jude.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was cracking you up, and you were with the podcaster friend.
Yeah.
Is it Let's Hear
Yeah,
It?
from Dear Future Wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he told me what?
What did he tell you?
He said I should do a podcast.
Oh, but I said that too. Don't give him all the props.
Oh, that's right. You said it too. But I was like, I'm only going to do it if you do it with me.
Well, here I am.
Thank
Halfway.
you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I do. So once Meaghan got involved, that I started to see my team, come together. And then Zada came to one of my, what was a warfare that you came to?
Yes.
So I hosted and moderated a conversation with Ray Mendoza, who was a director of Warfare, after a screening at Phipps. And she said, anything you're working on, I want to help you. And I said, perfect timing. I'm starting a podcast. I'm going to need some help.
Right.
And she showed up, and I'm so happy for you guys and grateful. So that's part of my birthday celebrations as well, just being grateful for my community. I think Hey Janeé is all about community and the synchronicity, the things that show up in your life and the perfect timing of them. And I believe God's timing is perfect timing.
I was thinking that right now. Yeah.
Amen. That's exactly what synchronicity is. You get the little bumps up and down your arms because it's like, I was thinking that, and then someone else says it, or just a message that constantly resonates. And then when you have the right people around, you have those messages that resonate all the time. So this year for my birthday, I had a dinner. Meaghan was there.
Mm-hmm.
Elle, who's our other producer, she was there. And it was about 20 people, which one thing I will say about birthdays, I hate planning my birthday because it's so hard. You want to invite everyone. Everyone's not going to be able to come.
Right.
And trying to get the RSVPs and figure out where you're going to have space for, and trying not to spend, all your coins, especially when you're a full-time entrepreneur. All that is tough. And I had like 38 RSVPs yesterday morning. And when it was time for me to go to the dinner, it had dropped down to 31 RSVPs. And I was like, this is exactly what drives me crazy. And as I said, it was a dinner for 20, which made, at the end of the day, it was perfect. Everyone who was meant to be there was there. Those who couldn't, I understand.
Right.
I appreciated your messages. But it was a great time, great music, great food. That's what I'm about for my birthdays. I don't do the same thing every year. I think the main tradition I've had has been having a cookie cake. But this year I departed that tradition as well. I had a vegan carrot cake from Cafe Sunflower.
So are you vegan?
I am not, but I am tiptoeing into the vegan.
A baby vegan.
I'm. What do they call it? Plant-based.
Batty.
I like to do meatless Mondays, okay? We pick a couple days out the week that
So
we
a baby
don't.
vegan.
Yes. You could call me a baby vegan if you want, but I think that I like to have the option of like eating meat when I want to. I get bored easily. I like to have variety in my food choices, and I travel a lot, so I never want to be that person that's like, I can't go there. They're not going to have a vegan option, you know? Not to mention, like, the vegan option can go either way. So we had dinner at Negril, ATL, and they had a Etal stew that was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. What about you, Zada? What are your birthday traditions?
So I'm really close with my dad. Mm-hmm. So usually every year he'll do something really big, like a really grand gesture. So for my last birthday, he took me out to New York. He surprised me with a trip.
Go Dad.
He just came in my room and he was like, okay, I need you to be packed tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, I like where this is going. Right. So you don't try to pry it out of him ahead of time? Like, where are we going, Dad?
He's been doing that my whole life.
Oh, okay.
Even when, like, one time I was going to the doctor's office and he was trying to make it a surprise. And I was like, when I was
Not
like
the
so excited. I was so excited. I was like, I know where we're going. He was like, just get dressed. And I was like, okay. And then we're at the doctor's office. I was like, oh. Okay. But it always made everything.
What are you doing? I was going to say shout out to Zeus. And now I'm like,
his name is Zeus?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
And it fits his aesthetic too. It's hilarious.
What does he look like?
He has like blonde haired.
Are your parents still together? No. Let me take that out, please. Okay. All right. I'm doing the math. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, but he has very distinctive features. What do you say? He's like blonde. He's blondish.
Yeah, he has blonde hair, and when he was born, he had like blue eyes.
Yeah, his eyes are light.
Yeah, they've changed colors like 3 times.
Oh wow.
So, but it always made everything exciting. It was great.
But he's super fit too. Like as I was saying, like he's works out. He's an actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's nice.
She's her talent, you know, it comes naturally. It's genetic.
It's passed down.
Meaghan, you want to tell us about your birthday traditions?
Yeah, my birthday traditions are just being around close family and friends. Last year, I did a thing where, like a restaurant thing, and I'll probably not do that ever again. Like, I just want the closest people.
Yeah.
And then my family, that's big to me. So we could be sitting on my living room floor eating pizza. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as I'm having some champagne, I'm good.
Nice. And then you said your birthday trip this year was New York?
Yes.
And then Universal last year?
Yeah. Well, the year before that was Universal, yeah.
We're going to hustle onto your trip next year.
Right. Come on, Sus.
The more the merrier.
I love it. When's your birthday?
October 27th.
Okay. Clear the schedules. Halloween with Zada.
And Zeus.
I love it. So, listeners, we want to know your birthday traditions. Make sure to comment in the comments, or you can send me a line. I'm on Instagram at Janeé Bolden. And just let me know, what do you do for your birthday? Maybe I'll switch it up next year and I'll do something different. So the next segment I want to get into is the moments of Black joy. For me, there's so much Black joy going on in the world right now. I was really excited to see all the images from the Cowboy Carter tour that have been coming out. The Rumi, Blue Ivy dancing, incredible. I also, probably the peak moment for me this week has been the Met Gala images and red carpet photos for that. The theme was super fine. I believe it was Black dandyism, tailoring with a nod to Black dandyism. And I had quite a few favorite looks, but the top one definitely was Laura Harrier. I just loved her look. It was like a tailor vest with like billowy blouse like underneath with the billowy sleeves, and then some billowy sheer pants. And Zach Posen did that for Gap Studio. So her outfit actually reimagined vintage menswear through a contemporary lens. So she was blending structured denim and flowing satin. So the nod to Black dandy culture was personal for her. She drew from cherished family portraits of her father and grandfather and their Sunday best. And I know we all love those pictures of our, ancestors in their outfits. So I love that look. I also really love the Burberry styled by La Roche looks that Cardi B and Jodie Turner-Smith wore. So Cardi B wore green, which is my favorite color, and it was like textured fabrics that she was wearing. It was very Victorian. She had green velvet and ruffled silk. She had green contacts as well, which that's a questionable thing, but Cardi will let it pass. Velvet nails. And it kind of was just elevating the theme of refined rebellion and Black sartorial flair. Now, Jodie Turner-Smith, to me, never gets it wrong. She had this all burgundy look, burgundy leather. It was a tribute to 19th century horsewoman Salika Lavesky. You think I'm saying that right? Salika Lazevsky. So she had, of course, I think the thing with dandyism, you're going to have the tailoring. So you're going to, the cinched waists, the top hats. So very Belle Epoque era fashion. And she also was honoring the Black equestrian legacy. Shout out to Meaghan, our Black equestrian.
Yes.
I had to give her a little nod because Meaghan came straight from the horse park to work with us today.
Mm-hmm.
The last look that I wanted to talk about, well, there's two actually. So Rihanna, we got to talk about Rihanna. Rihanna was she wore Marc Jacobs. She used her stylist Jaleel Weaver. She works with him a lot. So Rihanna always looks amazing. I'm always waiting for Rihanna's look, and she's pretty much generally the last person to arrive every time, and it's always worth the wait. So she kind of brought that menswear suiting that we were expecting, but it, it was just very tailored. She had, this corseted look that kind of covered her bump, but you still could see the bump. So she announced her pregnancy pretty much at the Met Gala or while headed to the Met Gala. So congrats to her and A$AP Rocky. They're expecting their third child. I'm hoping she gets her girl this time. And so just elegant. Her face is flawless. I mean, the billionaire behind Fenty Beauty, of course she's going to be beautiful. And it was just everything to me. It was exactly on theme. Now, some people didn't get that note, but Rihanna definitely got that note. I also wanted to mention Janelle Monáe just because I feel like the theme was her personality. Like, it fit her to a T. She had the suiting that was actually like a coat, and she opened it up and she had another look underneath. Everything was like red, white, and navy. She was wearing Tom Brown with Paul Tazewell. Paul Tazewell, he won the Oscar this year for his work on, Wicked? The tailoring. He's just incredible. She was styled by Alexandra Mandelkorn. And, it was just incredible. Very avant-garde. She's always been futuristic. She's always kind of been that tie between the past and the future. And I just love that it was really a perfect night for her to show out. And she did it. And it wasn't the same old. We've seen her in the black and white suit. So seeing the other colors with the red was really cool.
Yeah.
Now, Zada, I know you have some you want to talk about, right?
I definitely do. I really liked, I still really liked Cardi B's look. And of course, Rihanna blows it out of the water every single time she graces us with her presence.
I'm glad we agreed on some of the looks.
But Cardi B actually surprised me because it was just really nice. I loved the green.
Yeah. It's unexpected.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it really contrasted with her skin tone really well. It was just really pretty.
And her hair?
Yes. Oh my gosh. No.
As natural girls, we gotta give a moment for the hair.
But I think my favorites were definitely Zendaya and Coco Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little biased because I grew up watching them. But
they're both Disney girls, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But Zendaya, I think she always looks great when she comes on the carpet. But this look, I love the hat, the all white look. It was very like, it was inspired by vintage menswear, and it was styled by La Roche. He always does a great job, to me at least. I really love his style, and they've worked together a lot. Some of her best looks, in my opinion, are attributed to his styling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Coco Jones, she also had like a white look.
But it was like embellished.
Yes, it was really
Like
pretty.
metallic and jewels and stuff.
I love the
Very
jewels.
Indian, though, like culturally. Like she had it. The designer was Indian too, right?
I'm not entirely sure. I know it was Meave Riley.
That's her stylist, but I think Manish Malhotra was her designer.
For the look.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Yep. It sure was. Yeah.
And she had that
makes
long
sense.
braid too.
It was, I think, so she was going for like a futuristic look. And it did look futuristic, but I think it made her look like avant-garde royalty. Like,
Definitely. To me, it was like very Indian princess. Like, I could see her wearing that to like, a wedding, one of those 3-day weddings, the extravagant millionaires in Mumbai throw for their kids. I love it. All right. Well, that's the Met Gala. I mean, there was plenty of other things we should shout out. The greats that showed up, like Andre 3000, Lauryn Hill. She had the guy with the parasol. There were some really, really, really good looks. I so many, and then there were the misses, but no negativity today. You can laugh if you want. No negativity. All right, we got to move on to Meaghan's 8 thoughts. One of my favorite things about following Meaghan Taylor is that she's going to tell you what she's thinking. And so many times I am thinking quite like her. She has some great 8 thoughts this week. I'm going to give her a chance to read them.
All 8?
Let's pick our favorite one.
Okay. I think my favorite one right now is just, if it's confusing, it's probably not for me. Like, no, I don't want any parts. And then God's plan is worth waiting for, so relax.
That's a great one. I think something for me, just stepping into like the entrepreneurial life, I get a lot of anxiety sometimes because I'm excited about what the future has to hold, but I'm also like nervous because life has things that you want to have security with, like paying your bills,
right?
Like knowing where you have to go just so you can prepare. And I think we're both kind of like people who like to have as much prepared and thought out. We don't want to just wing it. And that's hard to do. It's hard to surrender, but I think sometimes you attract the right things when you wait for
go, yeah.
Wait for that plan. And then I think the thing that you said about if it's confusing, it's not for you. I think that plays into something that I always try to embrace, which is flowing and not forcing. Like when you're forcing things, they don't tend to work. But if you just kind of go with the flow and what's naturally flowing for you, it's like these are the right things coming together in the pieces.
Yeah.
Well, Meaghan is going to post all 8 so you guys can see the rest of them for you. Thank you so much for your 8 thoughts. Let's get into some pop culture stuff. So I do, as a entertainment journalist, I get a chance to pre-screen things that come out or go to screenings, which is how Zada and I met. So we have a segment we're doing called See, Stream, or Skip. This week I am skipping the skip because I want to give some space for us to have a conversation. We'll get into that in a second, but I want to encourage you guys to go see Accountant 2. That is Ben Affleck's sequel with John Bernthal. Cynthia Adair Robinson is also in it. It is just as action-packed as the first Accountant, but it also brings a little bit of humor that I feel like the first one didn't have as much humor in it. I know some people were sad that Anna Kendrick isn't in this one, but I promise you the chemistry is phenomenal. You're going to laugh. You're going to, really enjoy the moments. It's going to give you everything that you're looking for, whether, action meets comedy. And I think it achieves something that a lot of sequels don't, in that it can stand totally separate from the first film. but it also still ties into the first film really well. But it stands well on its own. It's a great one. Better than what I expected, because when you see a sequel, you're like,
Yeah.
what's about to happen? For streaming on Netflix, May 8th, Forever. For those of you who might be of my generation, the Judy Blume lover generation, Mara Brock Akil has adapted the Judy Blume classic Forever, and it's really cute. She has 2 young Black actors playing the roles of Keisha and Justin, and they are it's set in LA. It's supposed to be set in 2018, so a time where there was a lot of turmoil. You get to see Justin, I believe that's his name, the male character. His parents are played by Wood Harris and Karen Pittman, and basically his parents are very worried about him, but he's like really like a model child. He does well in school. He's a student athlete. But his parents are a little overprotective, trying to protect him from all the dangers of the world that we live in, whether it be, driving while Black, the whole police issue. And but he's been sheltered, and he wants to go experience things, and he goes to a New Year's Eve party, and he meets a young girl, and that starts it all off. And that first episode is incredible. I went to an early screening. I can't wait to like devour the rest of the episodes. But the cast: Michael Cooper Jr. plays Justin Edwards, Lovie Simone plays Keisha Clark, Zosha Roquemore is playing Keisha's mom, Shelly. And yeah, I told you guys already, Karen Pittman, Wood Harris. It's really cute. I just love that Netflix, Strong Black Lead, they always have these great Black projects. I love that Judy Blume was open for a creative adaptation where it could be a Black story when it originally, it was more of a others,
Right.
From a white perspective. Yeah, I didn't want to call it a white. I didn't really want to call it a white perspective, but I guess that's what it was.
An American perspective.
Yeah, it is. But it's at the end of the day, our stories are American stories too.
Traditionally, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So as far as skip, I'm gonna say skip the negative, or the criticism. Skip the criticism of Sinners. I haven't seen a ton of criticism. I feel like most people really loved it, but there has been, like, especially from the religious standpoint, there has been some heavy criticism that have come in. But I wanted to take some time just to like talk about Sinners a little bit, and I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it as well. For me, my expectations were so high, which I think that's kind of a me thing, because even for the Met Gala, my expectations were super high, and then I was like, every look I'm like, it's not bringing it, and then like until the ones that were really bringing it for me. So for Sinners, I kept hearing 10 out of 10, no notes, and I still had notes, so I'm like, am I the bad guy? But I did love it, and then even leaving the theater, I feel like I love it even more. Like, so the things that I loved about it: Michael B. Jordan playing 2 roles. Like, I forgot. Like, Smoke and Stack were 2 very different characters for me. I think definitely wardrobe helped with that. But the way that I know that they had to, like, kind of shoot everything twice to make that work, it looked amazing. I also really wanted to talk about Wunmi Mosaku and what it means to have, like, a full-bodied, dark-skinned Black woman as a desired female lead, and the chemistry that was there between those 2 characters of Smoke and Annie. Thought that was incredible. I love that they introduced the Chows, and that now people understand the role of like the Asian grocer in the Delta community in Mississippi. There was diversity to this story. Visually stunning. I went to see this film with Alex, and he was saying like he loved it and it could have stood on its own, and if you never brought vampires in. But people have been looking forward to this as Ryan Coogler's vampire film. I still need the vampires. I need the vampires. I needed the drama. I love the visual of like how their eyes would change and like glow in the dark, and I love like the character even of Remick. Like, this, you have a sympathetic villain. Like, there's nothing better than a sympathetic villain. Like, he's a vampire. He's trying to take their souls. He's trying to steal their culture. Not a good thing, but he can really jig. That was fun. Watching him dance. You can't tell me the Irish music wasn't jamming. Yes, Ludwig Göransson, you did your big one. Miles Catan, who played Sammy, he did his big one. His voice was so incredible. You see a kid that young, you're not thinking he's gonna sound like that, but even his speaking voice was just like very commanding. Delroy Lindo acted incredibly, and I gotta shout out Jamie Lawson too. Her singing was incredible. She was so sexy, the sexiness she brought to that role. And I mean, the movie was sexy. It had multiple sex scenes that I thought were like really just beautiful to watch. And just fun. It was there. The fun was there.
Okay.
The fun was there. Do you guys want to chime in?
Yeah.
So I was really taken aback by Miles' performance.
Yeah.
The young man who played Sammy, he did such a phenomenal job. He did a great job. That was amazing. I was like, and he's like fairly new to us as like an audience, but that was also inspiring. As a young actress myself, it was really inspiring to see that. And I also loved the scene that he was in when he was singing on stage. When they started showing like all of the different like cultures coming together,
yes.
like all the different time periods coming together, it was so cool.
I've never seen anything like that.
It was like really immersive. I felt like it was there.
I was I'm not going to lie, that was probably for me one of the harder moments to reconcile, because it almost lost me in that moment when you got the like Jeezy thug motivation. Hey, I'm like, why is this on top of the blues? And I understand that there's a connection between blues music and all music, and they were trying to show that music is like universal. I was like, LL Cool J is in the building. I see a red Kangol. I see Bootsy Collins. I see some twerkers, and I get that there's a tie between the African dancers and the twerkers, but I was like,
I feel like it just came at like a random time. I mean, not random.
There was no
it was just like,
I don't think there was any way of preparing us for that.
Yeah, I also I guess movies don't take 15 minutes for commercials anymore before it starts. So I was a little late. So a couple times in the movie I was confused. So I'm like, maybe it's because I missed like the first 10. I don't know. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to go see it again. But I did like it. I think they should have maybe added more in with the Native Americans. You only saw them at the beginning.
That was one of my notes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I was like, I wanted more of the Choctaw. But I hear that he may be doing like a Center's Universe, so more films might come. And I would love that if we could see more of the Choctaw. Because even like, what is the cultural tie-in? What is their beliefs in terms of that? And then why were they hunting him? Like, I just want to know more.
Well, yeah. Because I think what he was saying, he was trying to like foreshadow everything that was going to happen, how they got their land taken taken away, and how it could happen with anybody else. But I wish I could have like seen more of that as well. And then it was just a couple of confusing moments, but the love part of it, I really enjoyed. It was different, but nice to see.
Yeah. Well, I just love that this will be his fourth $100 million box office. 100 million plus, and he's proven, he's just one of the greats.
Yeah.
Period. Like
and then the story about his wife and stuff, like how that's always just like heartwarming.
Yeah. So Ryan Coogler's wife, Zenzi Coogler, who's pregnant right now, she bought him Final Draft. She's the one that kind of made it possible for him to start writing films, and then she's produced alongside him on so many projects, and he always speaks so highly of her, and she's touching, her hand is on all of these films as well. So I think it's really a beautiful lesson for all creatives that like when you meet your match, you're so unstoppable.
A word.
Okay, so what I'm working on this week, I have a few projects I want you guys to check out. I have some articles that went live. So on my birthday, Black Enterprise published my story. I interviewed Van Jones and Anaya Bashir about the Dream Machine Innovation Lab. They have an AI library project, which is bringing like AI workshops to libraries across the country. So there's about 5 different cities, but they're really looking to make sure we're encouraging Black and brown people to embrace AI. We're moving into a new era. Technology is something we shouldn't be afraid of. And I really love that the message that they have about leaning into that and how we can shape the future by getting involved with this technology. But like, if we don't do that, the technology is kind of going to move on without us. So Van Jones actually said that he believes AI is the closest that we can get to reparations. And I thought that was a really powerful.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, I thought it was a powerful statement, but he just thinks it's a opportunity for an equalizer. And I think what's hard is that we get left out of the technology conversation so much, but you always have to keep in mind that there's an intention behind it. And if you don't create your own intention for it, someone else is going to create an intention for you. So it's better for us to have our hands in it. And I know I use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is my bestie. And, I'm eager to use other platforms that incorporate AI, but I would love to hear everyone's thoughts. Like, what's the AI feature that you are embracing? Or like, if you haven't embraced it yet, what's stopping you?
I definitely use it. It helps me have tough or confusing conversations with people. I'll be like, make this a little bit more feminine. Like, maybe you don't want to sound like a pit bull today. Like, make it nice. So I use it a lot for that.
Oh,
it really
I love
helps.
that.
I tell all my friends, I'm like, if you're trying to tell a man something, put it in ChatGPT. Feminine, flirty, friendly. And yes.
That's incredible. I hadn't thought to use it as much. I have used it some for like social things, but I use it a lot professionally. I know when I left Bossip, I was like, help me craft the announcement for LinkedIn, and it helped a lot. Of course I added my own voice to it, my own touches. I think that's the thing that I would caution people with AI. Like, make sure you're double checking it just as you would, check human error. There's definitely error that happens, but also like, don't settle for whatever the first answer is. Ask it multiple ways.
Yeah. Remove M dashes.
Right. So that's the Black Enterprise story. So I'm launching my Substack as well. So you guys will all be able to access these articles from Substack. Another big one I want to mention is I did a story on for Collider, which is a pop culture site. I write for their reality TV team. And so I wrote about Temptation Island, which I also recommend folks watch on Netflix if they're into dating shows. The Black couple on the series, Shantae Glover and Breon Whitley, they left the island together. I have strong opinions about that. My article is actually called Shantae Should Have Given Hashim a Chance instead of blocking him. So Hashim Moore was one of the single guys in her villa who trying to tempt her, while Breon was in the other villa having threesomes. Yes, I did say that. And Hashim is a nice young man. Meaghan, you should check him out. You might want to.
How old is he?
He's, I think, 27 or 28.
Yeah, then I don't need to check.
Oh, too young? Too young. I still think visually you guys might want to check him out, And he's pretty impressive. He has a Princeton degree.
Oh.
He has his own, I think it's an app or a business called Pilot, which they book celebrity talent and experiences. So he's making the most of his Temptation Island fame. He also went viral on Temptation. He went viral on Instagram and TikTok. So Jessie Woo did this this really cute video, and I don't want to give it away. You should check it
I'll
out.
check it out.
Yeah, it's on his page.
I'm following
if you
him
go to
now.
his page, yes. So the last article that I wanted to mention, I wrote an Inspire article for Newsweek on Dara Mirza-Hongri. If you guys have heard of the restaurant Sei Less in New York City, he's the owner. He has a really inspiring story of entrepreneurship. So he's from a Persian family.
Oh, wow.
And he really made his name at big Chinese fusion restaurants. Philippe Chow was the first one.
Oh, okay.
And then he was at Julan Club, but he built this celebrity clientele. Cardi B, Travis Scott even has a song where he mentions him, Wiz Khalifa, French Montana. So all the, athletes and musicians in New York, when they're there, they'll have dinners at Sei Less. And everybody's got Dara's phone number. You just text him and
Okay.
yeah, he can handle large parties. It's like if I'd had a birthday dinner in New York City, I definitely would have hit up Dara. But I really love that I got a chance to tell his story. So
That's awesome.
that's
Say
all.
less.
And you can find all of these articles will be linked on the Hey Janeé Substack. Okie dokie. So winding down.
Okay.
We want to do the 6 Degrees segment every week, which is where we find something in common. I'm constantly finding that I have so much in common with people, whether it's because I moved all over the place. I might meet someone who's also from Iowa. Yes, I lived in Iowa from 1990 to 1996. I lived in Iowa City. I know I don't have that in common with either of you guys.
No, can't say you do.
I know, but Meaghan, you did move around
I did
a
move
lot.
around a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so we have that in common.
Yeah.
And then you went to FAMU, and my mother was the professor at FAMU.
What did she teach?
She was the sciences, School of Sciences, and she was occupational therapy is what she
okay.
actually ran that department.
Oh,
there.
awesome.
Yeah. Zada, we have our natural hair in common.
Yes.
Shout out to Curl
The
Mob.
curls.
Yes, so I have one of my other businesses is Curl Mob, which is a natural texture community. We do content creation and we just spread the good word. It's all about having community and embracing our natural texture, feeling free to be ourselves and not have to conform to European beauty standards.
Yes, which is really needed. So thank you.
Here I am, relaxer in head.
It's okay. It's all right. Listen, at one point it was me too. I used to get my hair pressed every 2 weeks, and I would get up at 6 a.m. in high school to do the hot rollers.
Oh my.
But now I am free. I just wash and go. I love to see it. So 6 Degrees is something I'm looking forward to doing as we have more guests in the future. And thanks so much for participating with me this week, guys. You guys, I definitely have to thank you for your help in getting us launched. Now, I want to close with the affirmation for the week. This week's episode is actually titled, I Am Capable, I Am Fearless, and that is a nod to the affirmation for the week. Coming up with this affirmation, it really was something I want to step into with it being my personal new year, my birthday week, also launching this podcast. I just want to affirm I am capable, I am fearless, I know who I am, and I am ready to step into my purpose.
I absolutely love that.
Thank you. So you want to say it? Say
together?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. On
Ready?
3? Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I am capable. I am fearless. I
know who I am, and I'm ready to step into my purpose.
Hey, Janeé. I love it.
Thank you so much. So this week, I know I am capable. I'll be traveling. I'll be writing some more stories, and we will be talking about them very soon. I just want to, just affirm everyone. You feel free to use the affirmations. You can suggest affirmations. I would love your input. Again, you can reach me on Instagram at Janeé Bolden. I would love to hear from you and hear what you think about the affirmation and how it resonated for you. I also just want to express my gratitude to each and every person who listens. and tunes in, as well as to the team here, Meaghan and Zada, Ray behind the camera, and Elle back in the booth, Jabril in the booth helping us out, making sure that we sound good and look good and bring all the good vibes to the world. We're saying hey to the world, and I want the world to say,
Hey, Janeé.
Hey, Janeé.
I love it. I love it. So we'll see you in 2 weeks with a brand new episode. We're going to be talking about Mental Wellness Month. Closing out May. May is Mental Wellness Month, and I'll have a great mental wellness guest along with us. You'll have to tune in to find out who it is.
Woo. Bye. I don't know.
Cue the music.
That was good.